Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. You are watching the series on molecular biology, and today we are going to talk about properties of genetic material and central dogma. The highlights of this video will be, first we'll talk about the properties of genetic material, then we'll discuss how RNA acts as a genetic material. We'll compare DNA and RNA, and finally we will talk about the central dogma. So what is the criteria for a molecule to act as a genetic material? First, it should be chemically and structurally be stable. Second, it should be able to generate its replica, that is called replication. Third, it should be able to provide scope for slow mutation that is required for evolution. So if mutation will be at a slower rate, then it is possible to trace the evolutionary pathway for that particular gene or that particular organism. It should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian characters. So if you remember the Mendelian laws, then these molecules which act as genetic material should be able to express itself in the form of Mendelian characters. Now let's talk about RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. It was the first genetic material discovered in riboviruses. It acts as a messenger and carries genetic information, acts as an adapter for picking up amino acids, structural and catalytic molecule. Some important biochemical reactions in living organisms are characterized by RNA catalysts such as ribozymes. So these are the different types of RNAs. RNA can be divided into mRNA, that is messenger RNA, or non-coding RNA, that is ncRNA. Non-coding RNA can be divided into housekeeping ncRNA or regulatory ncRNA. Housekeeping ncRNA includes tRNA, that is transfer RNA, which acts as an adapter molecule, and ribosomal RNA is abbreviated as rRNA. Then regulatory ncRNA can be further divided into long coding RNA, long non-coding RNA, or small non-coding RNA. Long non-coding RNA are more than 200 nucleotides long, whereas small non-coding RNA are less than 200 nucleotides long. Small ncRNA can be further divided into microRNAs, small nucleolar RNAs, small interfering RNAs, small nuclear RNAs, or PV interacting RNAs. So these are some different types of RNAs which are studied at advanced level, but basically RNA are known for three different forms: mRNA, tRNA and rRNA, which we will discuss in the subsequent videos, and we'll discuss their particular functions as well. Now let's discuss how DNA and RNA are different or similar to each other. So the acidic name for DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, while ribonucleic acid is the acidic name for RNA. DNA is very stable and has a long life, whereas RNA is less stable or short life. DNA is found in nucleus, mitochondria in most eukaryotes, and plastids in plant cells, whereas RNA is found only in nucleus and cytosols. The function of DNA is static. Digital genetic data storage occurs in DNA, whereas in RNA it is dynamic and it can be into many varied functions. Then copier enzyme, DNA polymerase is the copier enzyme here, whereas RNA polymerase is the copier enzyme for RNA. Then structure of DNA includes a long nucleotide chain, two complementary strands. A, B or C form helix would be the types of DNA present. Whereas RNA, these are short nucleotide chains, one strand. This is a very major difference, single-stranded and double-stranded. So it is single-stranded and it is available only in the A form helix only. Okay. Then backbone, inorganic phosphate is basically a part of the backbone in both of these. But in DNA, deoxyribose sugar is used and ribose sugar is used in RNA. The nucleobases which are present in DNA are thymine, cytosine, adenine and guanine, whereas in RNA, uracil replaces thymine. Base pairing is adenine to thymine and guanine to cytosine is common to both, whereas in RNA, in place of T, since we have U, so A is paired with U in RNA. Then talking about the EM radiation, DNA is somewhat UV sensitive, whereas RNA is relatively UV resistant. So these are some of the basic differences between DNA and RNA. Now, why is DNA preferred as genetic material and not RNA? So, there are some points for considering this. First is that free 2' OH of RNA makes it more labile and easily degradable. So, as we know that the structural difference between DNA and RNA is of the presence of the ribose sugar. So DNA has a deoxyribose, that is the 2' OH is absent, whereas in RNA there is a presence of 2' OH group. So this presence of 2' OH group actually makes RNA more labile and easily degradable. So in comparison, DNA is considered more stable. Second, presence of thymine, abbreviated as T and is also called as 5-methyl uracil. So since you can see that 5-methyl uracil, so in the structure of uracil there is a methyl group present at the 5th position. So this also confers additional stability to DNA. And third is that RNA being unstable mutates at a faster rate. So if RNA is mutating at a faster rate, it is not possible to trace its evolution. So that is why DNA is considered as the genetic material. Now let's talk about the final topic of this video, that is central dogma. It was proposed by Francis Crick, and it explains one way or unidirectional flow of genetic information from the master copy, that is DNA, to working copy RNA, and from RNA to building molecule or trait expressing molecule, polypeptide, or in simple words, proteins. So this is exactly what central dogma looks like. So DNA by means of transcription converts into mRNA, and mRNA by means of translation converts into a polypeptide or protein. So these are two major processes in molecular biology which we will discuss in detail in the upcoming videos. There is another concept related to central dogma which is called reverse central dogma. An exception to central dogma was reported in 1970 by H. Temin and D. Baltimore. They independently discovered reverse transcription in some viruses. These viruses produce an enzyme called reverse transcriptase which can synthesize DNA over RNA template. So now the picture of central dogma kind of becomes different, that RNA can also form DNA, and this is called reverse central dogma, and this happens in the presence of an enzyme called reverse transcriptase, and this process is called as reverse transcription. So DNA has the ability to replicate and form its copies, so that is called as replication. We will discuss this in the upcoming video and in detail as well. But this is actually the central dogma which includes a part of reverse central dogma as well, and this makes the picture more clear. So DNA to RNA through transcription, RNA to protein through translation, RNA to DNA through reverse transcription, and DNA to DNA replication. Okay. So this is an end to this video. I hope you liked this video and found it informative. We are going to start with DNA replication in the upcoming video, and then we will move towards transcription and translational processes in molecular biology. So if you found this video informative, please like, subscribe and share. Follow us on Instagram, and please write to us if you have any queries or suggestions at the given email address. Thank you, and stay tuned for molecular biology videos.